All right, I thought it was high time that we get caught up on some newsworthy real estate issues that have arisen, actually some tips and tricks that we've learned over the last couple weeks. So I want to cover with you as we tour beautiful waterside of Lakewood Ranch, by the way. I want to cover with you some changes with Zillow, big breaking news with Zillow and their platform and the way that they're operating. I want to also cover some updates with flood insurance. We did a large video on flood insurance, but I want to give you a little bit of an update there. I also want to address appraisal waivers as it relates to a buyer purchasing and negotiations. And two more things, listings, the number of listings that we have, and last but not least, your homestead exemption. All right, here's what's going on with Zillow. So a few weeks ago, they announced that they were subsiding the purchasing of property. So then fast forward to, I think it was last week, where they announced they're like stopping this whole, I think it's called Zillow Offers program. Yeah, Zillow Offers program. So now they're stopping the entire program. And so what happened was they've got about 7,000 properties that are just, they've bought and now they can't resell for the same price that they purchased it for. So essentially it's about, well, I read an excess of $500 million in losses. To top it off, they've let off 25% of their staffing for that program. And in addition to that, their stocks are down about 30%. So why am I telling this to you? Because you're the consumer. I think the takeaways here are that it comes back down to working with an agent who's hyper-focused on your neighborhood, on your market, not working off of an algorithm. An algorithm is just a computer mathematical equation that thinks it knows the value of your property. Well, this just showcases that they were really off on valuing these properties, and now they can't sell them for the same price. So I think, like I said, I think the takeaway is that it's important to work with a local high market knowledge agent in your area, because you could be leaving a lot of money on the table. So I've had a lot of experience with Zillow over the many years. I do feel like they were capped out in terms of ROI for agents working with them back in 2016, and I feel like, me personally, this is just my personal opinion, that it's kind of declined in terms of price versus what you're getting, both from a client standpoint and an agent standpoint. So if you have any questions about Zillow in particular, Zestimates are not accurate. And when we get asked that as an agent, we get a little frustrated because it's a computer spitting out a number. So get with your local agent to talk about true values and true ways that we market to fit your property and get the highest and best price and terms for your property. Okay, now on to the flood insurance update. So I recently did an interview with Jimmy Cirillo, a local Sarasota insurance agent, talking all things flood insurance premium changes, the flood map changes. So we've had a change in October already for all of the new policies. Now for the renewals, those are going to take effect April 1st. But the good news is, if you're a buyer, for example, and you're buying a property, let's say on Siesta Key, and the seller's paying $1,200 a year for flood, but if you buy that house and start a new flood policy, it might be $5,000, right? So the good news is the buyer can assume the seller's current policy and pay that premium. Now, April 1st, it may go up, but the good news there too is it can't go up more than 18% per year. So these are really good things to know, and also when you're negotiating or talking about financing, your lender should direct you. We've got really good lenders who can guide us through this and guide our clients. Also to note, it is a really easy process for the seller, pretty seamless, I'm told. So we kind of let them handle it and sort of direct all the parties and make the clients, as comfortable as possible, and make this transaction as smooth as possible is always the goal. So this is just something to consider because this is a change coming into effect very, very soon. All right, next topic, appraisal waivers. This is going to be something really, really good to know, both from a listing standpoint and negotiating with potential buyers, maybe multiple offers, and of course from the buyer's side, if you're competing against a variety of buyers, you're going to want to have the leg up, okay? So what an appraisal waiver is, it used to be you'd have to put so much down on a loan and then you could qualify for an appraisal waiver. But now I've heard from a couple lenders it's 20% down conventional, 10% second home. So basically we'll call up our preferred lender and they'll type in the address of the property and your name as the client. And it sounds like it's really random, so we don't really know what will qualify for an appraisal waiver. That's my understanding. But basically that's exactly what it is. You can waive that part of the loan process, which is the appraisal. And why that's so important right now is, like I said, for negotiation purposes, but also because prices are changing so fluidly that it's really, again, it's just something really good to know. And again, like I said, we've got preferred lenders who work with that system. It's called the Hawks system, and definitely want to talk to your agent about that as well. All right guys, so our next topic is homestead exemption. If you bought a home this year and you are going to live in the property full-time, which means 6 months and a day, you're going to want to file your homestead exemption. So if you move, you have to move in by December 31st, and you have to file your exemption by March 1st. So it's a really, really easy process, but again, it has to be your primary residence. If you have questions about how to do it, it's really, really simple. Simply email us, shaylatwit@gmail.com. How adorable. Oh my gosh, I can't, it's so cute. Next on our list is, this is kind of crazy and I really can't even wrap my head around it. And I do this for a living every day, but last year at this time, ending October, so October 2020, our office had 4,600 listings. October 2021, we had only 1,600. Now, I'll leave that up to your interpretation, but what I'm seeing is, I don't know where the inventory is going to come from and to satisfy this demand, but it is way low. So we have buyers calling us from all kinds of places. California, I've never talked to so many Californians. You know, we've got this demand coming from all angles. So what my message to you is, if you are on the fence about selling and you're worried about where to go, I have an answer for you. Just contact us. Click shaylatwit.com. Call me 941-544-7690. I can't stress enough how timing is on your side. If you want to sell, we have an answer. Again, like I said, if you want to buy, just talk to me directly.